Hello all, welcome to CAD Technologies. Today we will be learning how to make this component using CATIA as the CAD tool. Now as you can see, the drawing is provided to us and this is a first angle projection. So this is my front view and this is my right view. A detailed description about the internal feature is given with a detail view separately, which is detail A. Now to make this component using your CATIA, first let us open the software and then start creating a new part. Now, in this part, we have to first create this model. Now, understanding the drawing, this is a cylindrical object which is a 188 dia and 68 as the length. So, to create these, we can use a simple shaft command by understanding and taking our right view. So, let's begin making the model by taking your shaft in the right view. If it relocates, as usual, you can take the right view and you can change the H and V directions as well. You can again check it with your isometric view if it's the right way view or not. So let's check it. Go back to your isometric. It creates a shaft in this way. So we are in the correct direction. Now let me try to make the rectangle first. We know the dimensions which we have just seen. This is supposed to be 188 and this is supposed to be 68. I'd exit and it will create a simple shaft. Okay. Now, to get this shape, we require to remove this material of the existing cylinder. So let's try to do that. To do the same in CATIA, we use a groove command. Groove command is usually used to remove a material with respect to an axis in cylindrical manner. You can select the axis or actually you can use the same reference of the axis as well. If you use the reference, when you change the axial axis, the whole body updates itself. If you take your own axis, every time you need to keep updating the axis. Either way, both are correct. It's up to you. Whichever you feel flexible, you can do that. Again, I'm selecting the ends of my cylinder as well as my edges to which I'm trying to make the cuts. Now, getting back to the actual sketch, see my sketch is actually this way, so I'd like to make that sketch first. It goes like this. And then I have an arc here, so I can change this to an arc. Now, let me try to give the dimensions. I know that this dimension is 10. The distance from this to this is supposed to be 10. And the diametrical dimension for this point is supposed to be 176. The radius of this is 50. Now, slowly coming back to the other dimensions, we know this is 5 and 136. So let me try to give that. This is 5 and the diametrical dimension is supposed to be 136. Now, we know this one as well. So let me try to take the drawing. This is 55 from the face and the diameter is 54. So let me take the diameter first. And from this distance it's supposed to be 55. Now we need to cut this, so I'll close the profile. And then say exit. And the groove usually tries to remove the material. Now we have another cut internally as well. This cut is also there. So let's try to remove that cut too using the same groove command and using the same view. I'm sorry, I took the wrong view. This is my view. Let me take the right view and try to select the groove. Or you can again, if you want, you can use the same reference. I think this is better. Now, let's start removing the material. We need few projections because there is an offset given to us. So I would like to use this in a construction manner. And then the reason why I have taken that is there is an offset of 6 given here as well, which is typical. So I'd like to use an offset command to do that. This is supposed to be 6. There's also another line given as 6, great. There's also another line which goes this way, and this should be at a distance of 6 from this edge. Now this one should be in line with this because they are of 54 diameter. This is a 54 and this is a 54 as well. So let me try to project this one and then keep them in line with each other. Now there is a cut which goes like this. Now we know that the distance from this to this is 28, so I'd like to give that. Going the same way, there is another cut over here, a little bit forward, and then it cuts this way. I'd use this as my reference. If you're comfortable, you can use it, or you can just coincide it with the axis as well, but I'd use this as my reference so I can show it to you in a better way. This is my reference. Now we know that this distance is 4 and the diameter is 176, which is already provided here. Typical is again given, so it means it's been used again. This is supposed to be 176. Now this is I'll close this profile and exit. It tries to create the groove. I'll show you the groove command from the inner side. Now there are addition of materials as well. As you can see, this supports are as an addition of material. So we'll create this support at a distance of 100. So again, going back to the drawing. Reverse the direction, distance up to 100. Now on this plane, we'll make these supports. So let's begin by doing that. Taking the plane, and I'd like to add materials. I'll be using a pad command. You can use it any way or any style you like. I can use a top view over here as well for better understanding. Assuming this is my feature, it is mentioned that it's at a distance of 8 typical and has a distance of 8, that is the rib thickness is 8 and is a distance of 34 from the center. So while doing this, all I have to do is maintain the dimensions, which is 8. The rib thickness is also supposed to be 8 and the overall distance from here to here is supposed to be 34. Now the overall length, which is 38, is provided in the right view. So I'd like to take this as 38. Now this feature is actually added up to the next surface. So I'd like to take up to the last or up to the next, and then it adds the material this way. The same thing is on the other side, so you can directly select the feature and create a mirror. I'd like to mirror this, so I can use a simple mirror command and mirror it onto the other side. Now there's also a full round on this face, so let me try to take that full round too. So my other features will not get affected later on. So in between these two, by eliminating this face. Okay, I should have done that before, so let me go back till here and then try to take the round. The features are dependent on the round, so before that we shouldn't make the extrusions. Now if you go back to the actual one, it just adds up automatically. Now there is a continuation of support on this face only, so I'd like to use that face to make a sketch. I am inside my sketch and not inside my pad. So let me try to make this. Taking a simple rectangle, I know these distances, this is supposed to be 12. And the overall length from this edge to this is supposed to be 44. They have already mentioned that in the drawing, which is 44 typical. So I'm trying to take this as 44. Exit. Now I want to add this to the end. It's the same addition of material as the last pad. So I'd like to do that up to last or up to plane and then select the plane or the surface. This also has to be mirrored onto the other side, so I am trying to use a mirror and then select the plane, it does the mirror onto the other side. Now, you have to create a support in between these two, so you can use a stiffener command, it's under this is called a stiffener, or you can actually go back to your insert, under sketch based features also you have a stiffener, either way it's the same thing. So I'd like to make a sketch, the sketch is supposed to be on this face, and again I'd like to flip, or actually I'd like to take the front view, you can flip the direction as well, no problem. Let me take the references in a construction format, and these are my references, this as well as this. Now the rib profile is this way. The height of the rib is 35, again the thickness is 8, so I'd like to give that first. Now 35 mm is given from here, and once I say exit, it asks for the thickness. It is only on one side, it is not on both the sides, so I'd like to give it on the other side, and the thickness is mentioned 8. Okay, as 8. Now let me again mirror this as well, because this is also onto the other side. Again I am taking a mirror and then doing it on the other side. Let's try to remove the internal feature as they have shown in the detail view the same manner. Again I am trying to use a group command to remove the material with respect to an axis, selecting the right and then making an axis, or taking the reference of an existing axis. You can change it to the right view if you like, or you can work on the view, whichever you are comfortable with. I'll use the references as usual, and now I'd like to make the sketch of what I'm trying to remove. There is another reference which I forgot to take. Let me take this as well. The reason I'm taking this one is because I need to cut it till here. That's why I have used that. Again, I'll shift it to the right view because I'm comfortable this way. Let me go back to the normal one and try to make the sketch. This is the actual sketch which is required to remove the material. Now we'll dimension one after the other. So the first dimension I'd like to give is this. This is supposed to be 15 and 4. This is supposed to be 15. And this is supposed to be 4. Now the next dimension, as we understand, is supposed to be 24 and 6 with a depth of 6. So I'd like to give this is 6 first. And this diameter is supposed to be 24. Now the last but not the least is this one. The diameter for this is actually 34, as it's already mentioned. So I'd like to give that 34 as well. Now once I say exit the workbench, it creates the cut. Okay. Going further, there are few features which are supposed to be added. These features are at a distance of 50. So let me try to take a plane at a distance of 50 first. On this, I'd like to make the addition of material. So again, I'm taking a pad command. On this plane, I'd like to make a sketch. They have given a PCD for this, which is supposed to be 156. Okay. Now, I'd like to give the diameter for this one and say it's supposed to be 156. Sorry, 156. On this, exactly at the center, I have a circle, so I'd like to take a circle exactly at the center and not in a construction mode. The diameter for this is 20. This is supposed to be added up to the next surface in the other direction, so I'll just flip the direction first and then add material till there. Now, this is being patterned. It's three circles I have, so I can directly use a circular pattern without any issues. Now the body is actually this with respect to the axis or the existing body. I can take a complete crown and give I want 3. It auto takes 3 and say okay. Excuse me. Now there are cuts as well, as you can see. So let me try to make these cuts on the body using my pocket. Let me flip it. This is not the direction I want. Now I can take my center lines and then start working on it. This is my horizontal center line. it has to be on the center. Same way I have a vertical center line too. Now, beginning. We have a PCD for this as well, which is supposed to be 88. So let me take that. There is a direct command to do that using a cylindrical elongated hole. So I can directly select this, give the start point and end point and try to do it. This is 88 dia, which I already know. I want to show this is dia and this is supposed to be 88. And we already know that this is supposed to be 8. It already mentioned in the drawing. Now the angle should be mentioned in between these two. So I'd like to use these infinite lines to provide the angle. And I'd like to use the same thing on the other side as well. Let me make sure that this is coincident on the center. It's not. This should be exactly on the center. Now, the angle between these two is supposed to be 60, which they have already mentioned in the drawing. Now, they also have to maintain symmetry. So, let me try to maintain symmetry with respect to the points. This is your sketch. Now, once I exit, it tries to remove the material. It's supposed to remove the material up to the next surface. Now, again, the same thing can be patterned because, of course, this is the feature which is supposed to be done 3 times. I'll be using the same axis pattern. What is the feature I want to is pocket. The reference element can be the body or you can use the axis. Again, 3 I want and it auto cuts them like this. Now, last but not the least, there are holes as well. So, let me try to do that. There are 6 through holes. So, I'd like to take a hole command directly. On this face, maintain concentricity. Again, if you maintain concentricity in the later phases of your modeling, if you change the initial sketch, the model or the hole also changes. Hence, we give the concentricity. It's called doing a feature-based modeling. Again, it's up to the next surface. I can similarly use the pattern with again respect to the axis. We know the object is hole and then it does it 3 times. This is how you make this model using CATIA. This is actually given as a tool test. So the more you practice, the more faster you can make it. I'll show you the right side view as well. Let me take the right view instead. If you want to learn more advanced level of training in CATIA, we also have advanced training in CATIA. Please feel free to contact us. Our details are given in the description below. If you want more videos or if you like to learn more tutorials from our channel, you can like and subscribe to the same. Thank you.